Early access to the Crew 2, yes please. This is going to be a whole 30 minutes of footage for you guys today. I got to play this game a little while ago. I've been playing this a lot. Actually, from time to time, I've been invited out to events and stuff, and this is pretty much as it gets. This is what it's going to be like when you get it. Some polish from this after this, obviously, but this is what you can expect when you get your hands on the game. So this is the character selection. You choose one of the preset characters. You can change the clothes and stuff later. Don't worry about that. But
okay,
we'll show you that
guys,
soon.
Come on, get a move on. We're going on soon. Ah, Hiroyuki Carter.
Hey, call me Hiro.
Pleasure to meet you. I was beginning to think you and your driver weren't going to make it.
Ha! Come on.
I'm from Live, the camera company sponsoring this race, and I'll be heading up this event. Walk with me.
Look, thanks again. I'm really stoked about this. Thanks for giving us the shot.
Don't mention it. We're always on the lookout for new talent, and you and your friend fit the bill. And I don't have to tell you this, but you do right by yourselves in this race, and you'll see a lot of doors opening up for you.
Gotcha. We won't
The
disappoint
game
you.
looks so good.
Disappoint me? That's not what this is about. It's your chance to impress people who matter. The events my company organizes are a feeder for every racing family out there. You do want to race, yes?
Well, that's why I'm playing it.
This is such a big deal for us. We've tried broadcasting our races, but no dice. I guess nobody wants to see nobodies.
Trust me. Just show the world what you've got with this one. You'll get followers like that. Run a good race, and you'll find your options and your followers increasing.
We'll give it our best.
The reflections of that GTR.
I don't want your best. I want legendary badassdom. Anyway, I've got to go.
Okay,
Something
that's a
about
little
putting
bit
on a race.
cheesy.
Best of luck.
I'm trying not to speak
thanks.
too much during the cutscenes because I know people will moan at me.
You're good to go, buddy. Break a leg. Hell, break anything you have to. Drive like I know you can, and we'll be in the big leagues in no time.
Brilliant. All right, jumping into it. So now I can properly chat to you about this game. I can't when it speaks, but...
Welcome to the city that never sleeps. In this event, you'll see New York taken over by racers in a way you never could have imagined. It's not just a city. It's a playground for the best pilots and drivers of today and tomorrow.
Yeah. This is the introduction. This is how you jump into the game. One of the Extreme Live Series events. This is one of those events that has the cool falling animations and stuff, which is really, really super cool. It looks amazing. Like, the fact that the game looks this good, like, granted, they're going for, like, a more cartoony art style, so they can push it a little bit further. The whole fact that the map literally folds just blows my mind every time I see it, but we're in the event.
The first episode of this year's Live Extreme series. In this new season, talented newcomers have a shot at taking on established stars and a chance to impress all the racing teams out here. And believe me, they're watching. And just as important, they need to generate excitement. That's how fans flock to them. And that's what it's all about, right? Become a racer, steal the show, and see your follower numbers soar.
Now you can tell it's me driving, absolutely pristine driving. I'm kidding. I do mess up quite a few times in this video. See if you can spot them, point them out. Please don't rub it into my face though. But yeah, jumping into something really, really nice, a nice GT3.
Get a load of that jump. There you have it, folks. The numbers are going through the roof.
So difficult it is for me to not talk over absolutely everything, but jumping into something like this and then jumping in, once you've done this, into something a bit more realistic, something that's a bit more real down to... You're not going to jump into GT3 at the beginning. You know progression is a big thing for me. And so far, from what I've played, this game has it in lockdown. It's not too grindy for those that don't want that, but it also has the grind behind the later levels if you really want to do that grindy stuff. It's there. It's a company. It's like, it doesn't take a long time to get something nice.
Goes to the extreme.
It's the animation. It looks so cool. I want to know how all the workings under the hood of that. That must be insane. The PlayStation and Xbox would be like screaming their heads off. It's going to be struggling, but and then it just folds back as if nothing just happened. You know, pretending the fact that we can't actually just drive over there. It would be cool if we could like fold up one of the events and drive up it and see what happens. That would look pretty darn cool. Maybe the Earth is flat after all. After seeing this, maybe it possibly is. Now, a little tip for the boats. You can actually control the boat by pushing front and back. And actually adjusts how the boat kind of moves and how quick it goes.
Stunt like this, and the fans will come a-running.
Now,
Check it out.
I kind of wish it was that quick to get followers in real life. Instant 700 followers. But yeah, I like the premise of this game. If it takes Wild Run was a fantastic expansion for the crew. Really, really improved the game. Like the game story was good, but it wasn't spectacular. They didn't do an amazing job at pulling off the dark kind of theme, because the game was light and fun in the end of it. And the light and fun theme, I personally think, fits the game much better. Onto the circuit. This ain't no circuit. This is a point-to-point. I'll let you know. But no, I get the idea behind it. So this introductory race, as I said, it's an introductory race. Not all the race events actually fold like this. It's just the Extreme Series stuff. And these are like special events. These are like the Horizon events, in where you know, you'll do them every once in a while after you've done a bunch of the races. It's like the special events. And now we're jumping into the plane. So this one is pretty much introducing you to absolutely everything there is to this game to offer.
Just being a good pilot isn't enough anymore. You've got to shine on and off the course, staying sharp on the social media side. It's simple math. The more followers you have, the more followers you'll get. Sign on with your first racing team, and the second will start looking at you. Pile up supporters, and the contracts will be knocking on your door.
Oh, obviously worry about
a driver who
planes.
attracts enough followers will open up new styles of racing. We call them disciplines. You'll call them awesome. And isn't awesome what we're all after?
In some games, planes are really difficult to control. They kind of throw you off a little bit. I found this really simple to pick up. I think that's across the board something that the crew is mastering really, really well. Easy to pick up, but it has a mastery level. Also, I wasn't low enough for the checkpoint, so I just went straight into the wall. But there you go, first proper crash of it. But I fixed it.
New York City, this was the
Still
Live
won.
Extreme Series, Episode 1. Thank you for watching, and remember to follow us on all social media.
I will do. If there's actually a live camera, social media, that plane was. Another thing about the planes is gonna it's another level to master, because again, it's proper stunt planes. It's the first game in a while that's properly like do stunts, and I like that. Now this is leveling up, so there's different levels, and based on your level.
It's official, my friend. We have made the big time. We're still gonna have to prove ourselves, but that's more than fine. You know, we've got the right stuff. There's so much to try. Boats, planes, all kinds of cars. It's like the world's biggest buffet menu, and we gotta take a bite out of everything. We're talking street racers, off-road, pro racing, freestyle.
Oh, I can't wait for the dunes again.
Any of them. Or if you ask me, do them all. Pick which one you want to try first, and let's go. My friend, welcome to the Motor Nation.
Now, as mentioned in the past, this is the point in where you don't have to do what you don't want to do.
We've got 4 ways we can get this puppy rolling. It's your pick. How do you want to start?
And obviously, if you want to beat the game, you're going to have to do everything, but this was the first one, the only one I could pick, because I love it.
Here. The name's Latrell.
Hey, Latrell.
I'm sort of like the unofficial welcoming committee for the street racing family. We tune our rides, show them off, and racing. If that sounds like something you want in on, you gotta show me something. I'll loan you a car, but you gotta do the driving. If you win, you're one of us. Just remember, the car's a loaner. Don't scratch it.
This song, I discovered it from this game, and it's now on my playlist. I love this song so much. But look at the size of the wheels on that M5. The tires are thick, boy. Anyway, jumping into our first street race, different disciplines. You don't have to do all of them. This was the one I had to do. Street racing. It's my thing. The music's just so good. Now, that Challenger looks insane. Like, there's something about it. It just looks massive. And most games don't portray how huge that thing is. It's a big car. But this game definitely portrays how big that meaty boy is. He's the ultimate meaty boy. But anyway, jumping into the first Street Racer race, it's a big mix again of using something high-end. That's how the game kind of introduces you to it. You do something high-end, you use something pretty darn good. And that's where you're like, oh, this is what you can get to. A nice introduction, nice balanced car. The GT3 RS is definitely a nice balanced car and a nice one to pick. it can be a bit of a handful if you play with it right, which you'll actually hear about playing with cars very soon, actually. A video later this week. I've got something mega coming out that I didn't even know about. Fergus had to point it out to me. The team had to point it out to me because there's a bunch of stuff, as I said, that I didn't know about that were hidden under like a layer. But it's going to be made more, like on a newer build. It's been made more kind of to fruition. But there's a lot of stuff where I'm not played enough to realize it's a thing, you know? Now, I'm a little bit like hit and miss on some of the jump stuff. I get the idea that this game's made to be more fun and stuff, and the whole city's about motorsports and jumps and stunts and everything. So I do feel like the street racing should kind of back down on some of the jumps and stuff that they did. But let's be honest, it's a game made to be fun. If you want to do street races stuff, you'll be able to do that. You can set up with your friends and that kind of thing. And if you want that, you can kind of go with that. But I do feel as if street racing could be a little bit more down to earth of the categories there are.
You did it. Now come with me. Got something for you I think you're gonna like.
But again, each discipline has its own specific kind of storyline almost. I don't want to say storyline, but progression path is what I want to say. And it has a little bit of story to back it up. And the street racing one is my absolute favorite. We're going to jump right into what's next on that. And a cool little animation there with each discipline you unlock and begin doing as well. Again, you don't even have to jump into another discipline if you don't want to. You can stick to one all through the game if you want to.
That was some fine racing, which means you punch your ticket to the spot. The place where the street racing community hangs.
Ooh,
I'm part of the
drift
crew
car.
here that's looking to take what we do legit. Feel the same way? Maybe we can help each other out.
Now this is one thing I wanted to show you super long ago.
His name's Edgar Marquez, but you best call him Tio. He's the champion
not to be confused with me.
Here, the king of the quarter mile. You want to take a shot at him, it's going to take everything you got. And maybe a few things I can teach you. You got talent, but I can give you skills. You see those cars? One of them's yours. Reward for winning that trial. It'll be a little tougher to earn the rest, though. You gotta buy those.
Those are
Win
crazy.
enough races, get enough cred, and you'll get to play with all sorts of toys. Drifting, drag racing, you get the idea. You gotta run, and you gotta win. Now, pick your ride. Get behind the wheel, and let's see what you got.
I'll show you what I got. All right, now, this is where it gets a bit crazy, okay? This is where I was first introduced, not the first time, but I've seen it before and I couldn't talk about it. And it was killing me inside. You can walk around the racing area. When I was first shown this, I was just blown away. I did not know where to begin. This is insane. Walking around areas, it reminds me of Midnight Club so much, but the whole atmosphere of this and stuff. And anyway, picking our first car is the priority right now. So I didn't want to show all the vehicles right away. I do want to show all the vehicles at some point though. If you want to see those, you know what to do. Smash like. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see that. But we're going to go through the beginner starter cars. I had to go with the TTRS. It's not something that's in a lot of other racing games. It's not something I would pick in a lot of other racing games. So I thought, why the heck not? Nice wheel selection as well. Again, this is just the baby layer of what's possible with customization. We're going to show that. I would have probably already shown that actually, but there is a lot of customization, more so than the previous game.
Just no flame decals, okay?
Flame decals, don't mess with my flame decal. Any muscle car is going to be full of flame decals. So this is the map, much brighter, much whiter, and like in your face. And look at this beautiful map. And we then actually jumped into the next discipline. You can guess what this one is. It's kind of a stunty one. Literally reminds me of the planes I flew.
To our community of freestylers. I'm Sophia, and I'll be taking you on. Here, we're all about having fun. If you want in, it's easy. Get that plane, get ready to do every trick on that list in the order they're shown, and grab a barf bag while you're at it. Use the bag and you lose. Score upset and you're
I can
in.
confirm.
I'll show you what I can really do later, but for now, it's your turn.
Use the bag and I lose. I'm already out. I take off and I'm out. Like, planes are just... I can do that. I'm fine. But as soon as you start stunting anything, as soon as you G-force, as soon as G-force kicks in, I'm dead. I'm gone. Anyway, so barrel roll. Roll. I actually did it a little bit early then. It didn't count it. But yeah, do it again. Kind of started twisting my head a little bit there with it. I noticed that on Twitch, sometimes people like move their heads with the planes. On other games, but. And this is an air drift. I didn't even know what all these stunts were called. I'm just going to call them all Flibby Wibbies. You know me. That's all it's going to be. So then that one, again, didn't register properly. I mean, I say that. I probably did it slightly wrong. I didn't pick it up. Or not. And then knife flight. Maintain the plane with the wing oriented to the bottom. Some of these, like... I wasn't sure if I was doing it right. There you go. I just needed to hold it longer, that kind of thing. The loop was easy. Come on. Nice, easy loop for me to do. Please. But look at the distance. The draw distance is insanely good.
Just be careful not to brush more than the treetops, or you'll get a
I knew that one.
the wrong way.
Or I'll just, you know, fly above the water, which is definitely much easier. It's a little tip for you. Don't fly over trees.
That was awesome.
Fly over the water. Less to hit.
You need to meet my partner in crime, Emmett, at the barn, and then we can really get you rolling.
Cool. So that was the introduction to the stunt group, if you will. It's not just planes. So this is something thing about the disciplines. They have the planes, they have the monster trucks, and there's like kind of a big mix of that kind of stuff. Like in the pro racing, they have boats and they have planes, I think, and they have everything.
We'll see if she's as good a judge of people as she is a pilot and a driver and never mind.
His voice, it reminds me of something.
As to what this place is about,
I'll have to search up the actor at some point.
You see these people? They work hard and they play hard, and they somehow make ends meet. Until you can wrap your head around that, you don't belong here. But heck, Sophia vouched for you, so you've got to be good folks. She and I have got something for you down at the store, by the way. That's down here. A place where you can pick up a few other rides when you earn the scratch. But, getting one for free ought to put a smile on your face. Just remember to keep smiling when she whoops you good up there. In the meantime, I suggest you figure out what you want to do.
You've probably seen that stunt, but very quick, like rapid.
I expect you to follow them.
Sounds like a teacher of some kind. Anyway, new discipline. We'll get the proper name. Aerobatics. There we go. And then there's jet sprint and then monster trucks. These are different fame levels that you need to achieve to unlock these, but you start off with the plane. I wanted to have a quick wander around, look at that monster truck. Flexing. I like that they did that. That's such a cool little touch, because I know people that are into monster trucks and that kind of thing, they like the little flexing with the lifted trucks and all that kind of thing. Anyway, you take lifted trucks to the next level on this game by making monster trucks. You know, the Fiat 500 monster truck does return, I can promise you that, which I was very happy about.
Cool stuff like flying under bridges, drifting, or taking big jumps. The more stuff you chain, the more
that is cool. I hope the follow count keeps going on and on and on and on past the game. From experience, like from other games,
and this is my show.
They block it, and that's annoying.
I'm looking for someone interested in racing off the beaten track, and I'll loan you a ride to see if you've got it. What is it? Take the keys, my friend, and we'll find out. If you win, you keep the car and get
I'll take them, buddy.
Real races. You lose, I take my ride back, and it's so long. But you're not gonna lose, are you? Huh? I didn't think so.
Jump right into the Raptor. That's right, Ford Raptor. That's a bit of a beastly beginning car that we get to keep. Well, I don't think we get. Do we get to keep this one? I don't think we get to keep this one. Anyway, It's a really, really sweet car to be jumping in. It's like a car that's been converted to do the off-roading. And that's what I like the most about the crew, personally, is taking vehicles out of their comfort zone and making them crazy. Like a Fiat 500 monster truck. Like, who else thinks of that? Exactly. Nobody. They had to go to Fiat and be like, look, we want to make your car into a monster truck. Do you approve? And they're like, yes. Of course you can. At least I hope that was the response with the Fiat 500 monster truck, because it's freaking awesome. Anyway, so the off-road races I personally enjoyed. Like, there aren't many racing games that pull off off-road racing well, but from my experience, this game pulls it off really, really well. In the previous game, if you went off-road in a non-off-road car, you were penalized. You went slow. And it does it even more so, or at least the same or more, in this game. If you try and take something that's not supposed to be here, it's going to act up and it's going to act like, what are you doing to me? Please stop it. Whereas if you put it in the spec it's supposed to be, it handles like a dream. And I like that. And it allows you to create some cool, interesting ideas. And the fact that we can now switch vehicles, you could fly along in a plane, drop a car. Like, if you can go fast enough, like bob along water or something. Not saying that will happen, but that would be something cool to try. But this Raptor, I love how responsive it is. The off-roading has been, like, dramatically improved. In the last game, it was pretty good, but it wasn't perfect. Even the handling overall, I tried to spin and I realized it wasn't actually the end. It's just become less floaty, less bobby. The collisions still kind of, you bounce off the walls to make it a little bit less, like, aggravating if you crash. I would personally like it more if you just kind of crashed and you corrected the mistake yourself. But that's obviously a design decision that's probably made to keep the game flowing and be less, like, annoying how to restart the race. Especially when there's no, like, rewind kind of thing like there is in Forza, which I like, because having the rewind makes me really lazy. I like the sound of that, sir. Alright, leveling up as well, gaining some money. Again, you don't have to do all these, but for the first video, for the first 30 minutes of footage, I'm gonna, like, this is what most people are gonna do, let's be honest. So I thought we'd do it. Welcome to the off-road family. You are my actual family. I'm obsessed with off-roading. For some reason, every challenge I do recently is off-road.
Now you belong here. So welcome to this little slice of off-road paradise. You'll find everyone here. Mudders, mountain climbers, and winners. And I'm betting that last one's what you're gonna be.
That focus looks so good. I want that.
Though everyone calls him Tuck. He thinks he's #1 around here, but we're gonna show that tree hugger just how wrong he is. He likes to ride out and explore. Lots of folks around here do, which is their mistake. They ought to be focusing on racing instead.
See, I'm the exploration type.
Is our game, yours and mine. And like I said, you can go to the shop and pick up the car that's waiting for you there. Call it an investment in your future.
It's such a sweet car.
Those you'll have to earn.
Got some proper rally car as well. It's really, really cool. Anyway, new discipline, Rally Raid. Look at that. And we have Rallycross as well as the final one, which so cool. I was not expecting that. Rallycross. It makes sense though, because they have road and off-road, and I'm hoping they do it really well. But there you go, a nice example of the Citroen Rallycross car. That's pretty much what it is, a Rallycross car. And this is a nice little look at the off-road area. But let's jump into our car. This obviously is the prototype buggy. There was also the Hop one in the original game. The Hop one is still in the game and returning, but it's in the other classes. Obviously, this is made for the off-roading. It's exactly what it's made for. But we've now got 3 of them done. So that leaves 1 more faction. So I would say...
This magazine asked us to take some photos. You can see what they want in your photo album. It's not mandatory.
Oh, cool.
The way you roll,
I didn't realize that the first
like
time.
money.
So there's like photo opportunities to give money as well. Anyway, the final one to do
I'm looking for a driver.
is the pro racing.
If you can handle yourself on the water and in the air and behind the wheel,
Everyone's in suits except you.
Then maybe you've got what my team needs. Beat the posted time for the trial, and there'll be a spot for you. Fail, and well, I'm sure someone else will grab the opportunity. Alexis Kendrick Racing deals strictly with winners. And I'm Alexis, so I would know.
I like the intro of that one. It's very cut to the point, blunt. And that's what she needs to be. She needs to be that type of character because she's representing pro racing. Starting off in an absolutely insane speed, but watch how quick this thing launches. Look at that! That is mega, and I'm not even nossing. I didn't even know there was a NOS button until now, and then I'm boosting. We're going at 170 before I even discovered the nitrous button was a thing. About 160. Before I discovered the nitrous button was a thing. This is mega fast, and this will make for an absolutely crazy amount of challenges that me and Matthew are going to do, and a bunch of us are going to do, because again, this game promotes Top Gear style challenges. That's what I love most about this game. It promotes you to do things out of the blue, creativity. It promotes for you to try and drive a boat down the road, a helicopter or plane or whatever, through buildings, and then change to a car. All this stuff can be just done from the basic idea of you can switch vehicles. This game encourages creativity, and I love that. And that's what we need more of in racing games. It doesn't have to be super serious with the story, or at least attempts to. If it comes off cheesy, just play light with it. This is a light story. It doesn't have a story. I still love the fact that Need for Speed has a proper story like this, and the crew seems to like not really have one anymore. It seems very much more like light-hearted and basic structure. But I think it almost fits this type of game now. I do hope that maybe later in the game that there is a bit more to it, because I do miss that TDU vibe. TDU 2 was, although a basic story, it was a good story, and I would choose Need for Speed's like not so great payback story over no story at all, which is this is a nice medium now.
There's still some things you need to work on, but that's okay. I'll teach you what you need to know. It'll be hard work, but you'll see the results on the track, or the waves, or in the air. So, this is the pit.
There's so many crazy vehicles in this discipline.
Preps. Now you can hang out here too. You belong. That's Clarence Bishop, the third. He's the reigning champ around here. Racing royalty, really. His father and grandfather were both champions too. Which helps explain his attitude. If you start winning, he won't be happy with you. Clarence is old school. Doesn't think anything needs to change. A lot of drivers see things differently. Me, I think there needs to be some balance. You'll decide for yourself, I guess. Just in case you're wondering, there's a powerboat with your name on it.
It keeps showing me that car. It's teasing me.
Don't thank me. You've earned it. And you're gonna need it. The rest of these, you can buy later. Not that one, little grasshopper. Okay. Not yet. You need to find the winner's circle.
Oh, yes.
First.
As I said, there's so many great cars in this discipline. And we're starting with a boat. Which is a bit of a tease, but, you know, I'm open to it. The Alpha GP at the end, that is insane. I have so many questions about that car, but we'll touch upon that a little later in a video. I'm so glad the AMG race car... I don't even... The AMG GT3... Is that what it is? I don't remember, but it's... Either way, this car we waited such a long time for on the Crew 1. Like, we saw it for a while and we were like... We need this thing. We need this thing bad. But anyway, this area has, as I said, a bunch of awesome cars. The Vulcan is over there, which is obviously something you get later on. This is something you'll get much later on. But the whole area is great. This is what I would say I like the street racing and the pro racing. Those are my two favorites. Yeah, I would, but I don't think I'm ready for it yet. I don't want to spoil it for myself. I don't want to, like, you know, try and go for it when it's not time yet. But as said, this was 30 minutes of the Crew 2. We got through the beginning of the disciplines. We didn't do any other races, so there's a whole bunch of content in here. And you got to progress through the ranks to unlock all the other vehicles in here. There's a whole lot of content in this game. And we haven't even touched the blooming surface of this thing yet. It's insane. Let me know in the comments your favorite discipline of what we've had today. I'm going to say street racing is my favorite. I know a bunch of you guys are going to say street racing as well. That's my absolute favorite. But I also love the fact that there is different disciplines. There's off-road discipline, there's a pro racing discipline. Having a game in general, just the pro and the street racing would be super, super cool.
Just open the map, search through it, and you'll find the tools you need. I'll bet posting those babies gets us tons of new followers.
I should hope so. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of The Crew 2. And I will see you in the future. Guys, be sure to smash like if you want to see more. Subscribe if you are new. Until next time, peace.